One thing about me, I'm a rom-com girly. But this week, that all changes. No, you were doing it at a leisurely pace. Fantasy books will have, like, the most elaborate names, and rom-coms will be, like his name is, like, Jake. Let's start this audiobook. Maybe try to get more than one book done in this video. This might eat, but I'm gonna say. I am normally a rom-com girly. I mean, let's take a trip over to my bookshelf really quickly. Welcome to my bookshelf, where this is the extent of the fantasy section. That says enough. I have not read very many fantasy books, but all of the fantasy books that I've read, I've really highly enjoyed. So obviously, why wouldn't we just read some more fantasy books and make a video out of it? Over here is where the fantasy TBR is. Well, obviously, we're not gonna read all of them. Y'all will be putting way too much faith in me if you think all of these are getting read in this video. Not gonna happen, but I will end up reading at least 3 or 4 out of these books. And I decided to not buy any more fantasy books and just like check them out from the library because I'm not really a fantasy girly, as I've said multiple times. So if I don't like them, I don't have to like commit to actually owning the book. We have The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This one is definitely like the top of the list of the books that I want to read. We have The Serpent and Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. We have Light Lark by Alex Astor. Mistwoven Kingdom by Tahira Mafi. Definitely said that name wrong. We have Arch Enemies by Marissa Meyer. I actually think this one's more like sci-fi fantasy, but I believe it still falls under the fantasy category, so this will be on the TBR. And last but not least, we have Heartless by Marissa Meyer. This is what our TBR is looking like for this video. I actually already started a fantasy book. I am currently reading Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and this is obviously the book we are going to be starting with because I'm already into it. Let's go ahead and let's head over to the house, sit on the couch, read Fourth Wing, and just have a fun time, okay? I'll see you guys over there. Goodness. Okay, before anyone comments on my appearance, I know that I look like a Pilates mom. It's been mentioned. It is a little bit later. It is around 3 o'clock right now. I have a few updates for you guys on Fourth Wing and also on what I'm about to do and what I'm about to read. I didn't really make that big of a dent into this book, low-key. Like, I thought I was making progress. I thought I was moving forward. Nope, you were doing it at a leisurely pace. So I am on chapter 7 of Fourth Wing. This book is really good and I'm highly eating it up, but like truly it just threw us straight into the story and I feel like it really was difficult for me to understand what's going on. You're kind of like learning this world as you go instead of like it laying it out in front of you. So a little bit more difficult for me to get into it, especially when it's like deep summer right now. Like it is not like time for fantasy, but I'm enjoying it nevertheless. Like I'm really enjoying this book. I love the found family in this book so far. I love the whole like premise. I don't think I really described what this book is about. I fear that like everyone has heard about this book already, but I will try to explain it in as much like simpleness, not a bunch of detail because you probably already heard about this book. So this whole book is following Violet. In her whole life she's been trained to be a scribe, which is basically a person who writes down in the history books like all of the wars that are happening and everything that's happening in history. But her mother ends up making her become a dragon rider. So being a dragon rider is like the complete opposite of what she wants to do. So she's 1, struggling with that, and 2, obviously she has to go through these like challenges and stuff so she can actually become a dragon rider. Right now she's in like the training for it. So this whole book is kind of following like that whole storyline. It's actually really interesting. I wasn't expecting to like it this much because just like something about just like imagining being like a dragon rider, and I don't know, just that whole like storyline kind of seemed like a little bit odd, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I wasn't expecting to like it this much already, and I'm only on chapter 7. Anyways, on that note, I'm about to take a little bit of a break from reading Fourth Wing. It's not boring me or anything. I feel like I can't stare at words on paper or like anything. I can't stare at anything right now. I need to clear my mind. So we are going on a walk, and on my walk I'll be listening to Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent. This is a 16-hour audiobook, but I'm really excited for this book. I've heard nothing but good things about it, and I just want to like formulate opinions for myself about this. It says, a former slave fighting for justice, a reclusive warrior who no longer believes it exists, and a dark magic that will entangle their fates. Ripped from a forgotten homeland as a child, Tisana, probably said that wrong, learned how to survive with nothing but sharp wit and a touch of magic, but the night she tries to buy her freedom, she barely escapes with her life. Desperate to save the best friend she left behind, Tisana journeys to the Orders, the most powerful organizations of magic wielders in the world. But to join their ranks, she must complete an apprenticeship with Why are these names so hard? That is my one critique with fantasy books. Fantasy books will have like the most elaborate names, and rom-coms will be like, her name is like Emily. His name is like Jake. Names in fantasy books are so much harder than like names in rom-coms. All I'm picking up is that Tasana has to go through these different like challenging, it says the Order's Deadly Games. We'll see how this plays out. I'll let you know what I think about it, but we're about to go start that on audiobook. Let's go on our walk and listen to Daughter of No Worlds. So many updates for you guys. First of all, good morning everyone. It is now Wednesday. Is my week like slipping by and I'm not noticing it? It feels like it should be Monday still. So I have some updates for you guys. First of all, I got no farther in Fourth Wing, but I am going to read this today. I'm really invested in the story, but it's like I'm also like simultaneously reading 2 other books. And then on audiobook, last night I was listening to the audiobook of Daughter of No Worlds. 41% through it, which is 6 hours and 25 minutes into it. I went on a walk and I listened to it. I was doing the dishes and I listened to it. I was just like sitting in bed playing my little game on my computer. I think I just found out that I love audiobooks. I'm getting through a book so quickly, and hearing the characters' voices is life-changing. Like, I feel like I'm watching a movie happen. Got 41% through that. I've been listening to it since the second I woke up this morning. Surprisingly, really enjoying the book so far. I wasn't expecting that because I'm normally not a fantasy girly. I have my Kindle here also because once I got tired of listening to the audiobook last night, I also started reading A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. This one's also like super popular fantasy book. I just keep hearing everything about it. So I was like, I should probably read this for myself before I spoil it for myself watching a bunch of videos where people talk about it. I will say that I got really confused when I started reading A Fate Inked in Blood because I was just like, I feel like all these storylines are going to start meshing together. So I decided to stop reading that book just for right now. We'll probably pick it up a little bit later in the week, but for right now, like, I just need to finish either the audiobook of Daughter of No Worlds first or Fourth Wing first before I do that other book, because everything's like mixing together. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm going to try to get as far through Fourth Wing as I possibly can, and then we'll probably go on another walk and listen to Daughter of No Worlds. That's the whole plan for today. So let's get to reading Fourth Wing. I've looked worse on my channel, but that also doesn't mean that I can't put effort into how I look sometimes. Like, I'll just be sitting there editing my video, I'm like, you could have looked a little bit better at least. I have some major updates today. I finished Fourth Wing. Honestly, I can normally read like a book a day if I like truly want to. I am a fast reader. I don't know what was occurring with me when I was reading Fourth Wing, because why was this taking me like 20 years it felt like to get through? I did thoroughly enjoy it though. I'm gonna give this book a 4.5 stars. Really liked it. I think honestly the only reason I'm docking it a 0.5 is simply because I was not reading it as fast as I normally read books, so I don't know if that was like the pacing of the story or like the writing style or what it was. Truly did love this book, okay? I can't think about it. It was so good. We are on Thursday and I only have a singular book done. Like, not acceptable for this video. Maybe try to get more than one book done in this video. Maybe stop procrastinating reading. Like, let's pivot to my TBR back here. Honestly, what are we thinking? Dare I say it, are we gonna pick The Cruel Prince just because this is a shorter book? And honestly, I know that Serpent and Wings of the Night, geez, that title is so difficult for me to remember for some reason. I know that this has to do with vampires. It can stay right there for a minute. Not feeling that vibe, so I'm gonna read The Cruel Prince. I don't even know what this one's about, so this one could be like way more unhinged than the one I just put back. I'll probably fly through this book, honestly. It seems very fast-paced. It has little drawings in it. Look how cute that is. And look at the map of the world too. Like, this makes me want to read the book. That makes me want to read the book so bad. But super cute, loving the vibes already. We're definitely gonna start this book today, but also I have some updates on the audiobook I was reading, okay? Let's go back to our normal spot. Truly, once again, at my core, I am a very big hater of things, so let me hate for 2 seconds, okay? Daughter of No Worlds, tell me why we went 58% of the book without the guy's perspective, and now he wants to add in. I was okay with like the male main character, like the love interest in this book, like throughout the whole thing, but then it got to like, for some reason they threw his perspective in here. For some reason, like hearing it on audiobook and hearing like a male's voice, oh, it makes me want to like projectile vomit everywhere. Let's see if like maybe I can do this without spoilers unless you hear his.
The truth was, it did make me uncomfortable.
Why are you breathing like that? Oh, it's setting me off. I was listening to the audiobook last night playing my little like idle restaurant tycoon, and then it switches to the male perspective, and at first I'm like, oh, this is eating. Like, I'm so glad he's finally able to add in, and then the guy has the nerve to breathe. I don't like you anymore. I need to get over the guy's voice. Like, I almost wanted to like skip the chapter where he was talking, but I was like, that's just wrong. I don't want to know your actual thoughts though. Like, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. Keep them to yourself. I'm good. I'm really okay. I'm gonna try to listen to a little bit of that today. It is raining. It's perfect reading weather outside. I mean, look at this. I'm sorry, is this not perfect reading weather? My newest favorite thing recently has been like finding playlists on Spotify that match me reading a book. I did that with Fourth Wing, and it was kind of life-changing. We're gonna look up one for The Cruel Prince. I have The Cruel Prince Taylor's version. Do I listen to that one or no? Or do I just like do it with a lot of things? Either the Taylor's version one or like instrumental. We're going the Taylor's version one. This might eat. We're gonna see. Oh, and it stopped raining. I wanted to get video of it raining. That sucks. Me having anxiety about like getting older, and then I read this that says, we are getting older and things are changing. We are changing, and as eager as I am for it, I am also afraid. My thoughts exactly. I don't know if it's just because I'm now in the fantasy mood, or if this book is actually like already devouring. I'm having a great time. Like, this is already a good book and it has me hooked from the start. Maybe I'm just a newfound fantasy girly. Can chapters always be this short? That would give me incentive to like continue reading if a chapter was always that short. A singular sentence is crazy though. It is way later. It is 6 o'clock right now. I have been reading The Cruel Prince, obviously. I have currently this much of the book left, but I honestly cannot continue to stare at a book, especially because I just feel like my day is like slipping away. And I have a lot that I wanted to complete today. Yeah, I am going to be finishing The Cruel Prince today and probably like soon today, but I need to go on a walk before it gets too dark out. Honestly, it might turn into a run, but either way, I'm going to finish the audiobook for Daughter of No Worlds today. I have, I think, like an hour left of the audiobook, so I'm at chapter 74, 92% through, and I have an hour and 16 minutes left. This has been a 16-hour audiobook. Actually insane. I can normally only commit to like 8-hour audiobook max, so this is like kind of crazy how I actually have been listening to this all week and not been getting bored. I will be completely honest, I had a very big bone to pick with it when it first introduced the male voice to the whole idea of the book, but honestly, I don't hate it as much as I was in the beginning. Like, truly, the male voice is still infuriating. Like, I just don't think that I like the person speaking. I truly did get over it, and the way that I like low-key like made fun of the guy's voice, and then probably, I want to say literally like 2 chapters later when the guy's voice came around again, I was crying. Just imagine me playing my like tile sorting mobile game and listening to this audiobook and like in full tears. We'll see what I rate it. I have no clue. I'll think on that in a little bit, but let's finish the book first. Let's start this audiobook. Oh my goodness. Can you even see me? I do it like this instead. This is actually the first time I'm using a light whenever it's like dim. But hello everyone, I'm back from my like run slash walk. I finished the audiobook of Daughter of No Worlds. I'm here to give you my rating because I don't really know how to feel. I think I'm gonna give it like a 4 stars. I don't really know. I think I would have probably given it like a 3 or 3.5 stars if I would have read the book instead of listened to it on audiobook. But because I listened to it on audiobook, and like mostly when I'm listening to an audiobook I have other things going on at the same time, it kind of just kept me entertained in the audiobook a little bit more. Whereas if I like read the book, I feel like I would have put the book down so many times and not been intrigued and interested. I honestly might have DNF'd it. Anyways, other updates. I'm now sitting outside. I think I'm gonna like not soak up the rest of the sunshine. The sun is gone, but I'm gonna watch the sunset and I'm going to read The Cruel Prince. Honestly, I just want to read this outside and get some outside reading time in.